I graduated in 1989, and after that I worked for about 5 years for PricewaterhouseCoopers, and I was involved then in starting up a business within that company. It was mortgage loan workout, and we were a big contractor to a government entity. And what was interesting about that to me was I got to put together a company. I got to assemble a staff. I got to put together the different functions that we needed, and we had our own accounting function, we had our own HR function, our own legal function, and it really was like running a company. And that's where I just sort of became enchanted really with the idea of actually creating my own company. So I decided to come to Tuck because I didn't want to be an accountant. I wanted to be more of a deal maker. I still wasn't sure that I wanted my own company. I knew I wanted to either run a company or be on the trading side, creating value, creating worth that way. So I came to Tuck to expand my knowledge base and also to open my eyes to what else I could be or could do. My best class at Tuck was my communications class. That is the class that, in many ways, I think it didn't get the respect it deserved from my classmates or from me. But it is the one, I tell you, that's the one you need, is what do you say when you pick up the phone and it's a reporter and they're asking you a question you did not want to answer? What do you do? How do you communicate to your employees that some key member of your leadership team just left? How do you do that? It's fantastic, that class, and I would urge people to get all they can from it. At Murray Hill and at Allonhill, the other hill, I use some of the skills that Tuck taught me every single day, and I actually think about it every time I use them. So one thing is in problem solving, and especially in crisis situations, tough situations, I often advise my leadership team and myself, listen, let's just approach this like it's a business school case study. That's all. We have a situation, we have a problem, we have a lot of background information, and we have some tools. How are we going to resolve this? And to me, that's very calming, and it makes it more of a methodical approach and less of a reactive approach. Before I ever started my first company, I was very well versed in some of the fundamentals of business. So I was an accountant. I've always known the numbers. I'm good at the numbers. I don't do the numbers. I have people who do them, but I know my numbers. I had put together a company for somebody else's benefit, so I knew what it was like to hire. I knew what it was like to fire. I knew what it was like to put together infrastructure. And in the background, I also had developed many years of expertise in my field. And by the time I started Murray Hill, senior people in my industry would take my call. And if that had not been the case, my company couldn't have been a commercial success. And secondly, because I had these business principles behind me, I knew how to run a company. And I think those are two different things. I mean, the idea I brought to market and delivering on it is one thing, but also being able to put that together, the nuts and bolts of a company, that's different. And so people ask me, how can I be an entrepreneur? And especially people who are maybe trying to do that a little soon. I always tell them, get the fundamentals, get the fundamentals. Take different jobs in your area of expertise. Work in the accounting department, do marketing, do sales. Don't just do the thing, because there are two sides to this. It's not just delivering product and service. It's also running a business.